has fundraising for. They made me do a fundraiser. Y'all don't have to give any money to the fundraiser. I don't know what this stuff is going on, but supposed to do my badges, but it said some fundraiser stuff. Y'all don't have to do any. I don't know. If someone could tell me what it says besides the badges, if it makes you just give the fundraising money or badges or whatever. What's up, y'all? I'm just seeing this on here right now, but yeah. You don't have to raise any money for PragerU. This is crazy. I just picked PragerU because it was on it. But anyway, what's up, y'all? I want to talk today about, I'm going to be brief. I'm not going to be here that long. But hold on, let me just run through these photos real quick. So, the big topic is the baby and oh shoot. Y'all can't see me, huh? Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna be brief like a pair of underwear, yeah. But my bad, I take my tape off. I tape up my cameras when I'm not using my stuff. But yeah, we got the baby and the girl named DaniLeigh or DaniLeigh, I think. Anyway, so apparently, he got tired of her and he wanted her to get out. She knew he was messing around with other women. Let me say this to the ladies first, then I'm gonna talk to the men. Ladies, you have to deal with emotional chaos. You got to deal with the emotional chaos. The two things that we have to deal with is men have to deal with lust, women have to deal with emotional chaos. Ladies, you got to deal with emotional chaos. You shouldn't be dating if you have trauma that you've not gotten over. You shouldn't be dating if you aren't healed. You shouldn't be dating if you can't manage to be by yourself. You shouldn't be dating. Many people are mad at the baby, but they're two peas of the same pod. Many folks are putting it all on him, but his name is the baby and he's a rapper. Like, what are we talking about? Like, he's a rapper. I don't understand, and I blame feminism for this because feminism tells women that they can just date whoever they want to date and it's going to be a fairy tale. Like, no, you have to vet the person you're going to date. It's not that you just pick a guy that you like, start dating him, and he's supposed to act accordingly. That's not how that works. He's a rapper. Most of these rappers and athletes are going to mess with multiple women and they're going to sleep with multiple women unprotected. That's the name of the game. They're going to sleep with most of these women unprotected. So he's on social media saying that she's a side chick, but he got her pregnant. And so I don't really want to hear it because she wasn't a side chick when you got her pregnant. Think about it. If she's a side chick, then she should get side chick treatment. She shouldn't be living in the house. You shouldn't be taking care of her. That's not a side chick. So clearly, she was more than a side chick. So ladies, you must deal with your unchecked desires. If you like a rapper, you need to go check yourself. If you like these athletes, go check yourself. If you like these entertainers, go check yourself. If you like these guys involved in crime, go check yours. Deal with your unchecked desires. Just because you're attracted to it and you like it doesn't mean it's good. Just because you're attracted to it and you like it doesn't mean it's good. Deal with your unchecked desires. If you like bad boys, that is a problem because what you want is not a bad boy life. You're looking at bad boy, but you want the house with the picket fence and the 2.5 children and the dog and the cat. That's what you want. But the guy that you like is not about that life. So if you like rappers, check yourself. You must deal with your unchecked desires. I'm gonna get on the baby. I'm gonna get on him. But I want to just start with that because I think what happens is these women look at the lifestyle. They look at the lifestyle that can be provided and not necessarily what comes with being with the man. Some women may feel like if they had the man's child, he's going to calm down. Some women may feel like she's different than the rest if she can perform in bed better. Like these women have all kind of things in their head. But I have to remind you, ladies, that if a man has his money before he meets you, you are going to always be second. If a man has his money before he meets you, you are going to always be second. And so what you all must understand is the type of man you want is a reflection of you. So if the baby is a scumbag, then DaniLeigh is a scumbag as well. We attract who we are, not who we want. And so what society tells women is that you're good and the man is bad. And that's every case, that's an every case scenario. No, it's not how that works. In the real world governed by God, the man that you pick or the woman that you pick is a reflection of you. It's not that you're the pure and innocent one and then he's the bad one. That's not how that works. So ladies, you must deal with your unchecked desires. If you like these type of men, it is a problem. These types of men are not going to be faithful to you. And then you get with them when they're probably cheating on somebody else, so you know what's going on. So DaniLeigh is not a victim. She signed up for this. As a matter of fact, she signed up for this with an incentive. And the incentive was being with a famous rapper. Being with a famous rapper that had money. There was an incentive attached to it. She would never do all this for the janitor at Walmart. She would never do all this for the janitor at Walmart. So clearly there's an incentive to why she did put up with all this. And she even knew he had other women because she said she was sending the plan Bs, the plan Bs to the other women's residence. So she knew he had other women. Now, I don't classify her as a side chick because you don't skeet inside of side chicks. You don't get side chicks pregnant. You don't do those things with side chicks. You don't have the side chick living with you. So clearly she wasn't a side chick. But I just think that he was tired of her because she was using the baby as leverage. Now, again, ladies, if the man has money, you don't have any leverage over him, even if you have a kid with him or child with him. Even if you have a child with him, ladies, you don't have any leverage because he has the money to pay child support. So again, you all thinking that you can change a man is never going to happen. And most women only get the man to submit because the man has a child with her. He has his pin pics floating around on the internet. Just trash for real. Now, let me say this. I'm not saying that the baby is a good guy by no means. I don't condone, putting people on blast on the internet because, he said he did it for his safety. But in all honesty, it wasn't about his safety. What he did was he used the moment. He knew it would go viral. He knew the moment would go viral, and he used it to promote his EP and his tour. So there was a method to the madness, but I'm not going to say he's innocent. He's not innocent. The baby is who he is, and he's rapped about it. I don't see where he's ever been who he wasn't. The baby hasn't been running around saying that he was not the baby. And The name he picks lets you know where his mindset is. He's immature. He's childish. Like people pick these names for a reason because they reflect who they really are. And so he's immature and he has money. Most men that have money are going to probably not be faithful because again, what men deal with is lust. And so the more access a man has to the world, the more opportunities he has to succumb to the lust. Now, many of you all dislike Kevin Samuels, but Kevin Samuels talks about a high value man. What you all don't realize is that a high value man in his context is the same thing as saying Planned Parenthood. High value man sounds good. Planned Parenthood sounds good. They both sound good. The difference is that women will put up with more if the guy has more money. That's just in a nutshell. So when Kevin Samuels paints the picture of a high value man, he always prefaces that premise by saying that the guy is going to exercise his options. The high value man is going to exercise his options. Kevin Samuels is telling women to just get a normal guy. But if you want a high value guy, meaning you want a guy that's already established, you want a guy in the top 10%, well, if he already has his money, you're always going to be second. I know that sounds bad. This is how it is. That's why it's better, and Kevin Samuels has said this, it's better for you to build with each other. It's better for you all to build with each other. Now, I know you all dislike Kevin Samuels, but the picture that he's painting for you is a very realistic one. The high value man more than likely is going to explore his options. He is. And so you all can accept that or not accept that. But the high value man is going to explore his options. So the baby is going to explore his options. These athletes, entertainers, are going to explore their options. So you must learn to deal with one or two things. Either you're going to deal with being with the high value man, rapper, entertainer, CEO, lawyer, whatever the status is, and possibly getting cheated on, or you can just get with a guy that has some character. You can just get with a good man. You can get with a man that's willing to build with you, a man that's willing to invest in you. We're not talking about the ugly side of the game. And the ugly side of the game is these unchecked desires. And so a lot of women out here are looking at men for a lifestyle, as a lifestyle provider. They're not factoring in the character of the man. And so I don't feel sorry for DaniLeigh because she literally went out there and got pregnant by a rapper. We've seen this play out over and over again, and it almost never works out. So I can't say that she's a victim. She chose this because she wanted it. She saw the reward she put the reward above character. She put the reward above any actions that he was going to display. So she's not a victim. Now listen, the baby has always been the baby. I've never looked at the baby and said he's going to make a good father. I don't care how many videos he puts on the internet. I can listen to his music. I don't have to get deep into these people. I can just listen to the music. So if you Cardi B and you playing that kind of music, you couldn't be a good mother, because part of being a good mother is setting an example for your child. So the baby, he can't be a good father because part of being a father is setting a good example for your children. So I don't have to dig deep. So not nowhere in my mind did I ever think that the baby was going to be a good husband or a good father. So that means if I didn't see it, and I'm very removed from where she is, DaniLeigh knows him up close and personal. So if I can be from afar and see that he's not going to be a good mate for her, then I got to assume that she knows what she's getting into. But again, the baby's always been the baby. Someone says, Nicole Way Rogers says that no man that has multiple baby mamas can really be a good father. Them kids need to spend time around, he needs to spend time around those kids, and that's more than providing. Absolutely 100% correct. So if a guy has 8 children, 9 times out of 10, he's not a good father if they're not all in the same house. Because it's impossible to raise 8 children if they're spread out across the country. So you see these athletes having these 6 and 7 and 8 kids, multiple baby mamas, that's just being irresponsible. It just is. Because all of that stuff is rooted in fornication. So again, ladies, the high value man, the term, is the equivalent to Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood sounds great and awesome, but it's genocide. It's genocide. Thank you, Sarah. It's genocide. So what you all got to realize is that to whom much is given, much is required. So if you get with a man that has a lot of money, there's going to be a lot required of you. It's just how the game works. Now, the world is telling you that's not the case. The world is telling you women that no matter what you do, you're always right. Just follow your heart. Just follow your heart and you'll one day get the fantasy. But Sleeping Beauty wasn't out running the streets. Sleeping Beauty was taking a nap in the house. Cinderella wasn't out running the streets. Cinderella was cleaning the house and making the clothes. Snow White wasn't running the street. Snow White was taking care of 7 doors and cleaning the house. So if y'all want the fairy tale, you got to look at the women in the fairy tales that the men were willing to slay the dragons for. So if you out there in the streets, just know I'm not going to try to fight a dragon and you out there in the streets. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to risk getting burnt up by a dragon for you and you're out there in the streets where every man has access to you. So I can't say that she's a victim. I can't even say that he's a victim. Now, she may have put her hands on she may have put her hands on him. I think she got some simple assault charges. But at the end of the day, they have a child together. And so I would think from a mature standpoint, I wouldn't put my baby mama on blast if she has my child, because I don't want to I can't embarrass my baby mother and in turn embarrass my children. So, you gotta, it's a thin line when you have a child with a woman. By default, your respect level has to raise for the woman because she's the mother of your child. But I believe in this case, his respect level diminished. M. Pink Love said Shrek and Fiona. Yeah, because ogres have layers. Ogres are like onions. So what he's talking about is that ogres are deeper than their appearance. They seem, they seem like bad. They seem menacing and evil and scary, but they have layers. He's deeper than his exterior. So Fiona had character. Fiona had character. That's why Shrek was willing to fight the world, because she had character. So ladies, if you really want a man to move, you got to display your character, because what men are attracted to in women is character. Now, the baby is going to skeet in DaniLeigh, but he doesn't respect her. But you know why he doesn't respect her? Because deep down inside, he doesn't respect himself. Ladies, you got to be careful of these men that don't respect themselves, because it will be impossible to respect you. Well, how do I know as a woman, you will ask, how do you know as a woman if a man respects himself? You will know how a man respects himself based on how he controls his penis. Again, the number one thing men have to deal with is lust. So how do I know that a man respects himself? I know he respects himself by the way he respects his penis. Now, I was on a live today. And a young lady was sharing a story that she had about a guy that she was trying to potentially sell some property to. She's a real estate investor, agent, I guess like flipping property, I guess I would say. But she's telling these horrific things this man is doing. This man is sending her penis pics. This man is sending her masturbation videos. Now, these are beyond red flags. These are like red flag ships. If a man is sending you penis pics, then he should be disqualified for business or pleasure. Now, she mentioned something that we often do. We often do one thing, and I don't like it, and it's called benefit of the doubt. Tell me in life when there has ever been benefit in doubt. Tell me how doubting something has ever worked out from it for anyone. Benefit in doubt is an evil, demonic, and worldly term. There is no such thing as benefit in doubt. There is benefit in faith. There is benefit in being assured. There is benefit in being prudent. There has never, ever been benefit in doubt. If you doubt yourself, more than likely you're not going to succeed. If you doubt the situation, more than likely it's not going to manifest how you want it to. So there's never been any benefit in doubt. So ladies, stop giving men benefit of the doubt. It's not your job to course correct these men on these paths of destruction. It's just not. So if a guy wants to send you penis pics, then now listen, somebody said not PragerU. I didn't want to do these donations on here as a side note, but when I clicked my badges, it just said PragerU. Y'all don't have to give PragerU any money. If it won't let you give me any badges, then don't give, But at the same time, to do my badges, it just said PragerU, which is ridiculous. I don't know how this thing is doing this. But y'all don't have to invest in PragerU. But if you do, thank you all for doing it. But anyway, because I'm pretty sure they can use the money as well. But I say all that to say that you cannot give men benefit of the doubt. You can't give anyone benefit of the doubt, because benefit of the doubt is going to put you in harm's way. This dog in front of me is growling and snarling, ready to attack, but he's never bitten me before. I'm going to give the dog benefit of the doubt and pet it. Benefit of the doubt doesn't work because now you pull back and you don't have a hand anymore. So benefit of the doubt never actually works. So ladies, you must master that emotional chaos, because part of that emotional chaos is you thinking that what you possess will change a man, and it's just not going to happen. What you'll do is a man will honor your character. So if you want to get a man to move, if you really want to get a man to move a mountain, sleeping with him is not going to do it, because all the women out there have a vagina. There's a lot of men out there claiming that they have a man vagina. So it's a lot of crazy stuff out. So the vagina is out there in abundance. So clearly that won't be the way to get the man. The way to get the man is through character. But I don't feel sorry for DaniLeigh, and because the baby is who he is. He's always been that guy. He's never deviated from the script. This is who he is. And I get it, she's cute. I get it. You got the money. I get it. But again, these men are tested by how they control their penis. So you see all these guys, once they get the money, they start skeeting and everything. You know why? Because he always wanted to skeet and everything. He just has the access and means to do it. I always judge these men by who they had before they got famous and before they got money. Like me, right? If you look through my history of dating, all the women I date are the same. It's not a deviation. They all successful, educated, good look. Like they're all the same. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying the women I date in my life are consistently the same. That's my type. It's just consistent type. I don't date. You won't see any dumb women. You won't see it. It is consistent. A lot of these guys, what they dated before is not what they're dating now. So now they're getting a chance to live a fantasy. Now they're getting a chance to live a fantasy. A goddess Navi said he disrespectful trash. Well, the problem is that a lot of these men out here are disrespectful trash. But when they pull up in a Maybach, it kind of makes the trash look good. Again, women have to deal with unchecked desires. Women have to deal with unchecked desires. Now, again, you all do not have to give any money to PragerU. I just hit my badges and it says donation on there. So y'all don't have to do it. Please don't feel obligated. I was just clicking my badges. Bree Bree said, if he's trash, why is she with him? So what feminism does is feminism tells women that doesn't matter. The man being trash doesn't matter. He's supposed to change because you like him or you love him. I don't believe because what your partner is a reflection of yourself. Is it Klein Elf? Your partner is a clean elf, Klein Elf. Your partner is a reflection of yourself. As I said before, you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. And that's just in life, period. So again, if you are attracting trash men, then you have to be a trash woman. I know society doesn't tell you this, but if you come to me and tell me, you say, Blanche, I keep dealing with the same type of men and they're trash, I'm going to say, I have the perfect solution for you. Go home and look in the mirror and tell me what you see. If you stand there long enough, I guarantee you will see the men that you are attracting. You will see it. I know so many women that talk all this spiritual stuff, talk all this righteous stuff, and then go and get their body enhanced. Why'd you get your body enhanced? Why do you think women get enhancements on their bodies? They get enhancements on their bodies not to just attract men, but to attract a certain type of man. Not just men, a certain type of man. What type of man is attracted to enhancements on a woman's body? What type of man is that? Is he a man of character? Is he a man of honor? Is he a man of principle? So again, the baby's always been the baby. Now, is he absolved of his actions? Absolutely not. I don't agree with what he did. I don't agree with it. Because my thing is, you should have never got with her. Because you knew she was like this in the first place. You knew all this. So at the end of the day, I don't feel sorry for him or her. I don't buy into the taking pictures with his baby and going on videos with his baby. I don't buy that stuff. I don't buy it because there's no way, if you was that honorable of a man, you would have never skeeted inside of DaniLeigh. I'm sorry. It would have never happened. Somebody said rich, affluent men of substance don't like, most real men don't like the fake bodies. But again, these women want to attract, like I said, a certain type of man, not just a man, a certain type of man. Usually the man that likes the fake enhanced bodies is the man that is superficial. He's going to be the man that's lacking character because he wants his woman to look a certain way. I don't mean look a certain way as in naturally. I mean look a certain way to get a certain type of audience. So a lot of Mr. Greg and them said a lot of women like the drama and mess that comes with men like the baby. Right. They love having a dramatic story, yes, and a sad song to sing, plus the perks of dealing with bad boys, thugs, and drug dealers. 100% correct. And these men also love the drama because these men love messing with multiple women, having multiple women want to be with them, watching multiple women submit, watching multiple women beg, watching multiple women grovel, watching multiple women cry, watching multiple women sell their soul to be with them. So these men want the same thing. These men want the exact same thing, and they'll put up with the mess because they're getting satisfied too. You see, all this stuff goes back to ego. All of it. It goes back to ego. And both of these people want to get their ego satisfied. She wants to be with the hottest rapper, and then he wants to have a bunch of women and be seen as a guy with a bunch of women. But I hear him talk, and if he was that honorable in the way he talks, he wouldn't be in this situation. I'm just telling you. He wouldn't be in this situation. Yes, watching multiple women fight over him, yes. This is what men get off on. So at the end of the day, women have to deal with these unchecked desires. If you want to be with a rapper, that is a problem. I'm sorry. If you want to be with these athletes, that is a problem. If your number one focus and primary goal is not to be with a good man of character, and to build with him, then you wrong. You off. Because what you want, what you really and truly want, doesn't match what you getting with a rapper. It's not gonna match what you getting with an athlete. It's just not. Even when I see these guys, how old are they? They're in their 20s. You know they're in their 20s. Come on. I see these guys having babies with strippers. I know what strippers do. So I'm not, if you have a baby with a stripper, you know what strippers do beyond the strip club, then you setting yourself up for failure. But these athletes will do it. These dope dealers, these drug dealers, they'll do it. Like these guys will do it because they figure I got enough money to control the situation. It sounds good, but you can't control the woman anyway. Because once a woman don't want your money, you done. Like for all these guys with money, once the woman doesn't want your money, you're done. You're toast. And really, she only wants you for your money. And you got to always factor in the back of your mind, if a guy has some more money, then she gone. They say she for the streets. No, she off to the races. They say she's a runner and she's a track star. But I just say that a lot of this stuff is going to go back to lust. And so what we got to find, Drake's baby mama is a stripper. Or no, she's on Pornhub. I don't know what she does, but she's on Pornhub. But yes, Drake's baby mama is a stripper, but Drake has always been paying women. There's many women that said he pays. So Drake has already been in the trick mode for his career. Most guys like Drake Drake is talented, don't get me wrong. Drake is very talented, but to have that kind of, depth in his music, you got to be kind of sensitive and tender. And so Drake is a really sensitive, in touch with his feelings type of guy. So he's the type of guy that will get ran over by women because he doesn't have any, he's afraid to have the tough conversations. So what he does is with the women that would run over him, he just pays them. Yes, Drake is a trick. Yes, he's a trick. Drake multiple times. If you paying women for sex, he's a trick. Yes, you're a trick. So any guy out there giving women money to sleep with them, yes, you are a trick. Even if you have it, you're a trick. But common sense should tell you if a person didn't have it, then they couldn't be a trick. So that's just a dumb statement from the jump. If you paying women to have sex with you, you're a trick. I'm sorry. Somebody says the big three for men is their heart, lust, and their stomach. Well, I say the biggest thing for men is lust. A man controlling his penis will probably curtail 90% of the problems in his life if he controls his penis, at least 90%, at least 90. But men have to control their lust. So women, you got to understand that a lot of these men, what's up, Morgan? A lot of these men don't have any character, and their character gets tested when they have more money. You ladies must understand that. So you must see how the man operates when he doesn't have any money. You must see how the man operates when he's not successful, so you can get a gauge. And then you must observe when he is successful to how he operates. Somebody said the only woman I pay is the food delivery lady. I know that's right. That's actually funny. But yes, Drake is a trick. Mr. Greg and them said if you need money to attract women, then that makes them submit to your desires. You a trick. Exactly. So ladies, if you meet a guy, here goes the flip side. If you meet a guy and he's willing to buy you stuff, he doesn't even know you, run away from him. If you meet a guy who's willing to take you somewhere, I remember being in a club. You hear these men tell these women all kind of crazy stuff. I remember one time I was in a club and the guy tells a girl, he said, what's up? Do you want to go to Miami next weekend? I mean, That's tricking at its highest level. That's like a superhero tricking. His second line was, "Do you want to go to Miami next weekend?" But again, ladies, if a guy is offering you all this stuff, it's a setup. It is a setup. If it's too good to be true, it's not true. This is how the world works. Because anything worth having is going to require your character. Anything worth having is going to be something you're going to have to work for or fight for. So if it's coming too easy to you, then it's a setup. No different than a guy meeting a girl in the club. If you meet a girl in the club and she wants to go back and sleep with you that night, it's a setup. Because trust me, she's done that multiple times. You don't know what she has. You don't know what soul ties she has. You don't know what's going on with that woman. If she wants to sleep with you after knowing you for 2 hours, then it's a setup. Your game is not that strong. You don't look that good. It's a setup. Somebody said trick or treat. Somebody said, Dig Doug said, love, or he said love or lose. He said love and win or lust and lose. I like that. We should put that in the comments. Dig Doug said love and win or lust and lose. But anyway, at the end of the day, the baby situation should be a cautionary tale for many of you all out there. I see many women that are grown, mid 30s, 40s, 50s, and they sound like young girls. What social media has done is the social experiment was really created for us to desire more. The real evil intent behind social media was for us to desire more and not be satisfied with our own lives. Now, when I say not be satisfied, now you striving better for your own life is what you should do. But you looking at someone else's life and desiring what they have, that's a no-no, because again, that is a setup. But to go over a few things, there are very few victims in the world. You know, my friend says there are very few victims in the world. And I believe that because most people sabotage themselves. Like most people know beforehand, before they put themselves in a situation that's not going to be good. You know, most of us know this. Most of us know. And so oftentimes what we do is we try to convince ourselves that we didn't know. We overlook the signs. A lot of you ladies, you don't overlook the signs. You just put something in front of the signs. So you say, oh, he looks good. Oh, he's tall. Oh, he has a nice car. Oh, he makes a lot of, like, you put some over the glaring signs. You must learn to deal with your unchecked desires. Men, you must do the same. If you find yourself liking thoughts and bops and scallywags and all the strippers and all that, and prostitutes and escorts, if you find yourself liking that, you're going to have to deal with that. That is a desire that needs to be checked, because those type of women are in it to win it. They're not in it for you. So you're talking about turning a hoe into a housewife. Is it possible? I don't know. I know most pimps, when they get out the game, they marry their bottom, chick. They marry their bottom chick. So I see a lot of pimps that do turn their women into housewives. But for the average Joe that's not a pimp, I don't suggest you do that. I suggest you find you a good woman that lives her life based in character. So ladies, we know that a man is valuing himself by the way he controls his penis. Fellas, you know a woman is valuing herself by the way she controls her vagina and by the way she deals with her emotional chaos. Men have to go through a deep process to deal with that lust, because it's not easy when there's a lot of guys out there that don't have a problem with lust because they ain't getting none. They're not in a position to where they can get the women that they want. So it ain't really a challenge for them. There are some men out there where it's a challenge for them to, deal with this lust. And so I recommend that you start dealing with lust by start denying your flesh. There's a reason why God wants us to fast. There's a reason why we should be fasting and praying. There's a reason behind all of that. And the reason is to build up your spirit man or your spirit woman. I didn't even see your comment, Mr. Greg, man. But somebody said, I want a woman has the 4B. Is that the 4Bs? I don't know. What are the 4Bs? Well, somebody tell me what the 4Bs are. But anyway, I just say all this to say that let the baby and this young lady, DaniLeigh, give you all a reminder that all these pictures these folks are taking on social media, all these publicities, this machine, the system, they show you these couples, but they only show you the aesthetics of the couple. Like imagine you walk into the kitchen and it smells good, but you don't actually see what's in the pot. They just giving you the aroma. That's all they're giving you. They're not showing you what these couples actually go through. Most of these couples you see aren't happy, clearly. They're not happy. They're with each other because it looks good. It draws attention. Most happy couples don't put their relationships on social media. They may take a picture, but they're not finna air out their whole, and I've seen it. I know one young lady, she's a content creator, but she was with a guy, I think they were engaged, and it just seemed so wonderful from the outside. But I always look, and I was like, I think something is, and guess what? They broke up. I look and I can tell. Oh, he said beauty, butt, breasts, and bread. Okay, well, if that's what you want, then that's what you're gonna get. I would tell somebody, I prefer the woman that has the 1C, character. So because if she don't have any character, she's going to sabotage the mission. See, what men don't realize is that once you are with a woman, you're vulnerable. Once you're sleeping with a woman, you are vulnerable. You're at your most vulnerable when you're sleeping with a woman. So you don't have the upper hand. So once you are putting your penis inside a vagina, you lose the leverage. You lose the upper hand. She can do anything to you at that moment. Anything. She can kill you, poison you, anything. What you gonna do? So I tell men to be very cautious about what they want. Be very cautious about what they want. I am one feather. As do I believe that they are narcissists? I believe that most people that are artists are probably narcissists to a certain point. I know the baby's a narcissist for sure. I mean, he's definitely a narcissist. But is she? I don't know. Maybe she wants attention. Maybe she really cares about her. Maybe she's just young. I don't know. These people don't really have that much character development to even have a deep level of why they do what they do. But I would just say for the men that are there listening, that you all must deal with your lust. If a man can deal with his lust, he can't be stopped. Most men fall from a woman. If you can't deal with your lust, then that is an advantage for the enemy against you. If you can deal with your lust, it wipes out 90% of your enemies. Ladies, if you can master your emotional chaos, you set yourself apart from 90% of the women. So they both have benefits. And ladies, you all know emotional chaos, you all just joined, but emotional chaos is when all this stuff is going on in your head about the men or the man or a relationship, and it hasn't actually happened. And you're dealing with all these emotions that were either from the past or haven't actually happened, but you're actually acting off of those emotions. That's the emotional chaos. You acting off of emotions that you conjured up. They're not really reality, they're just ways that you feel. But that's the emotional chaos that you must check. No different than the man. Like the young lady said earlier that I saw her live, she said that the guy was sending her penis pics. And the guy was sending her masturbation videos. Like, ladies, listen, you can't put your principles over under money. She said she gave him benefit of the doubt because she was thinking he was going to buy this property, and so I was going to deal with that. It's not how that works. You can't compromise yourself to make money. That's not how that works. If you compromise your character to make money, then you just made money for the devil's kingdom. God addeth riches without sorrow. The Bible says that a diligent hand maketh rich. The Bible doesn't say compromise your character to get money. The Bible says that a diligent hand maketh rich. So at the end of the day, if you're in business, ladies, you can't be putting up with stuff with a man because you want to get the money. It's not how that works. You can't compromise yourself because that's no different. You putting up with a man sending you penis pics and masturbation videos to get some money is the same as a woman selling her body for money, because both are going against her principles. Both are going to compromise her character. On the big scheme of things, they're the same. The acts are different, but character-wise, it's the same. That's why I always focus on character, because character is not manifested the same way in action. A person can compromise their character by stealing, and a person can compromise their character by giving. So I love character because character doesn't always express itself the same way physically. But anyway, I just think that the baby is a cautionary tale for all of us men, and his baby mama is a cautionary tale for all of you women. You must deal with unchecked desires. Now, do I agree with any of this? Absolutely not. If he didn't sleep with her and she didn't sleep with him, none of this would ever happen. But the problem is when we fornicate, when we have sex outside of marriage, it only breeds chaos. I believe that most marriages don't work. Take that back. In my opinion, I said that the baby's name is reflection of who he is. He's immature. I would say that most marriages can never reach their full potential because they had sex before they got married. Now, I didn't say that both had to be virgins before they got married. I said when they decided to have a union, their union is sanctified by the fact that those two people didn't have sex. I believe that most marriages can't even reach their peak because people are fornicating before they actually get married. I don't believe we can actually see what God truly has for us. I don't believe we can honestly, truly see what God really has for us until we do all of the things that God wants us to do, meaning we give God 100%. I believe you give God 100%, God will multiply the 100% and possibly give you 200% or 300% or 400%. But most people give God 90%. Like I said, the devil loves good. The devil loves good people because good is not righteous. God prefers righteous over good because righteous is being in right standing with God. Most people are good, and being good is just being good enough. And so most people can't really see what God really has because they only given 90% or 85% or 50%. If we give God 100%, I believe we receive above 100% from God because that's what God really wants. God wants us to live by faith. So what God wants is to stop tiptoeing. So at the end of the day, when you get married, when men get married, now people tell me all the time, that's right. I am one feather. You can't call it a blessing if you had to sin to get it. Right. There is power in the tongue. Stylistic, yes. I forgot what I was going to say because y'all made some good points. But I guess my point is that we got to get in the habit of giving God 100%. And if you're not giving God 100%, then technically you're giving the devil 100%. I know it sounds crazy, but the devil wants you to be good. The devil doesn't need you to be bad. The devil doesn't need you to be evil. The devil needs you to just be not righteous. Just don't be righteous. Because being righteous is being in right standing with God. The devil can have you be good. Most people are good. Most of these people that are good do the worst. Like good is what people, you got to be righteous. So ladies, How you value your body is how a man's going to value you. And fellas, how you value your penis is how a woman is going to value you. Now, some women may say, you know what? He's lame. He don't want to have sex. He's lame. Well, guess what? She ain't for you anyway. But I can guarantee women respect a man that can control his penis more than they do other types of men. Now, what a lot of women deal with is being attracted to men that have multiple women. Women are attracted to men that have multiple women, but women aren't really attracted to men that sleep with multiple women. So women want a man that's desired. That's understandable. Women don't necessarily want a man that's going to sleep with everybody. Like he has no kind of loyalty to her. That's not what women really want. You know, women usually want a man to be desired by women, but be faithful to her. Now, some folks call it slavery. Some folks call it whatever. I just believe that when we get married, what it took to be prepared for marriage sets the tone for the marriage. What it took to be married sets the tone for the marriage. So I would tell anyone that for any lady, if you want to be married, you got to be a wife now. You got to prepare. If a man wants to be a husband, he has to be a husband now. So someone says, I think guys are confusing celibacy with abstinence. Abstinence is when you save yourself for marriage. So let me see if you're never going to get married and never have sex. Well, I agree. Celibacy is possibly for taking a break from sex. Abstinence is abstaining until marriage. So yes, they are two different things. I would say that we should abstain from sex until we are married. No, she says, stop speaking about women in absolutes. I don't want a man that has a lot of women. Now, stylistic is getting emotional right here. This could be a teachable moment. I clearly said, and you all can rewind the tape. I clearly said, you can rewind the tape, that women like men that are desired by women. I didn't say they were with the women. I was clear and said desired by women. Then I backed that up and I said women aren't attracted to men that sleep. So again, when we are listening, we got to listen without emotion. We got to listen and give the speaker a fair chance. We can't be emotional listening. I'm very clear in what I say. You can play this tape back. But again, emotions are the number one thing that hinders us because we don't. Most people want they be ruled by. That's what society is where it is now because they've told us that emotions can override the truth. So I see it all the time. I hear it every day. People talking to me, and it's an emotional driven conversation. Instagram keeps freezing for some reason, but it's an emotional driven conversation. It's an emotional driven conversation. But I say all that to say, what is that? I say all that to say, anybody have any questions? So I've been talking. Let me open this up for questions for these last 5 minutes. If anybody has any questions. Someone put a scripture up here. They said, but that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. Nevertheless, he that standeth steadfast in his heart have no necessity. Right. So basically, he doesn't have a need for the world. Somebody said that's too long. I don't know what y'all talking about now. Anybody have any questions though? Okay, if y'all don't have any questions, I'm gonna let someone come on real quick because because I have like 5 minutes. And then I'm do you recommend starting a relationship in these last days? Do I recommend starting a relationship in these last days? I would say that a relationship in these last days is probably going to be imperative because, iron sharpens iron. And, two heads are better than one. And, two or more are gathered. A trifold cord are easily broken. So to me, we're better people when we are dedicating ourselves to a man or a woman. And that's God's design. God's design is for us to build our character, for us to actually be like God. The goal for us is to understand God. How do we get to understand God? We get to understand God by being like God, by being selfless. So marriage to me is a situation where you choose to put someone before yourself forever. So not only is marriage about, commitment, but it's also about honor. It's also about duty. It's also about all these other things. Another scripture is, but hath power over his own will and hath so decreed in his heart that he will keep his virgin forth well. These are all scriptures about characters in Corinthians. And again, the Bible is a book of character. So when Eve sinned, Adam was supposed to tell her or remind her, we don't eat the fruit. And then he's supposed to tell her to go ask God for forgiveness. When Eve ate the fruit, Adam was supposed to tell her, you're not supposed to do that. Go ask God for forgiveness. We don't eat the fruit. But instead, Adam took the apple. So the first simp that we ever saw was Adam. Adam was the first simp because he was the first man that had clear instructions from God, but still chose to listen to a woman. I know that sounds sexist, but that's just really what happened. What God had instructed him to do, he put aside for the woman. So what Adam should have did was show Eve the right thing to do. And then when Adam ate the fruit, what he should have did was owned up and fessed up to what he did. He should have said, yes, I ate the fruit and I'm sorry. I should have been leading the woman and instead I was following her. So again, the book is all about character. The book is all about character. So again, in relationships, it's all about character. But, let the baby and them be an example of this cautionary tale. What's up, Colette? So I'm going to have someone come on real quick for these last few minutes. And see, yeah, Adam was a simp, yes, because Adam had clear instructions from God. Imagine right now in your life, imagine a man, it have to be you, imagine a man that it has clear instructions from God and God provides for him. God gives him everything he wants and gives him clear instruction. Those are the things that we actually dream of as men. We dream for God to give us clear instructions and meet all our needs. So God gave him clear instructions, met all his needs, and then he chose to listen to a woman who he had known for what period of time? Because he knew God before he knew Eve. So yes, he's a simp. He literally put Eve above God. Yes, he's a simp. He's the first simp. And then from him simping, we brought sin into the world. So honestly, sin came by way of simping. So a simp brought sin into the world. A man of character didn't bring sin into the world because he couldn't. A simp had to bring sin into the world. And so Adam was the first simp. And so what he should have did was he should have told Eve, this is what we do. This is the right thing to do. A lot of these men out here aren't giving these women instructions because they want to sleep with them. So it's hard to give a woman some real knowledge, some real game, and some real information that's important to her life if you want to sleep with her. So again, this is why fornication clouds judgment. So there's many millions of women out there that have went to men for counsel and just got screwed, no pun intended. They got slept with. So what men have to start doing is to start genuinely giving women information without wanting to sleep with them. So would you stay in a relationship with someone you don't love for the sake of the children? Absolutely not. If you want me to stay in a relationship for some children, you're going to be sadly mistaken because both of y'all going to get left. Now, I will take care of my children, but I'm not staying in a dysfunctional house for the children because you still torture the children. If you're in a relationship because of the children, you're still torturing the children because you all don't love each other. You don't want to be with each other. The children can sense that. So you're actually causing more harm by doing that than good because the children know that you all don't want to be with each other. Samson was a simp, 100% correct. Samson was such a simp that Samson told this woman, and she was a thought. Samson told a thought all his secrets. He's a simp. Samson told a thought all his secrets. Samson knew God. Samson's people knew God. They was a righteous people. They didn't eat all. They were just a pure righteous people. And he corrupted himself for a woman. Samson was a simp. And it cost him and his people. Solomon was a simp. Solomon had 700 wives, but 2 of those wives had him worshiping false gods. 2 of those wives had him worshiping the devil. So Solomon, the wisest man in the Bible, was a simp. All these men are simps, but they are cautionary tales. They are examples for us. As I said before, a simp brought sin into the world. Samson was pillow talking. Solomon was probably having threesomes with the 2 women. Think about it. They're probably having threesomes in front of the false god. He probably flagrant. Come on, man. So simping brought sin into the world. Simping is what caused men to have a downfall. Because a man being a simp is out of order. Because when a man is a simp, he removes himself from his position. And then he gets all the leverage. Simps give all the leverage to the women. So, and technically, if you want to get technical, if 10 women, if you have children with 10 women, 10 women, they have leverage over you. Because you got 10 women that have children by you. Now they have the leverage. Now indirectly, you put yourself in a simp mode. You can't defeat 10 women. So if you got 10 baby mamas, you in trouble because that's leverage. If 10 women go to court talking about you, you're going to lose. I'm sorry. If 10 baby mamas go to court on you, you're going to lose. If 10 baby mamas go to the police, you're going to lose. If they go to your job, if you got 10 baby mamas, you are a slave to those women. Now, most of them women don't know that. They ain't got enough sense to come together and join forces like the Justice League and put a nail in the coffin. But if they did, y'all would be in trouble. So all these multiple baby mamas, if they ever got smart and wised up on you, especially y'all men with money, y'all will be in trouble. Y'all will be in trouble. So, again, character is the way to go. So, DaniLeigh is not a victim. The baby's not a victim. They both doing it for the gram, and they are an example of what relationships have really become. Their relationship will be the norm in the future because they're trying to get rid of the family. So all of these relationships, all these toxic relationships get glorified. That's why they have a show that everybody watches called Real Housewives and NBA Wives. And it's a show, all these shows just really feel 90 Day Fiance and Love After Lockup. There's all these popular shows. Even My 600-Pound Life is a bunch of dysfunctional, toxic relationships. But they want that to be the norm because those kind of relationships don't produce good families. They just don't. They produce more chaos and destruction. But I love you all, and I thank y'all for tuning in today. And I want you all to love yourselves. I want y'all to love yourselves enough to first, men, to respect and love your body, but loving your temple first. And then ladies, you all loving your bodies and your temple. And you also mastering that emotional chaos. And fellas, you all mastering that lust. And that lustful spirit isn't always just for sex. It could be for money. You know, that the lustful nature of man can be manifested in many ways, because to get the women, you may lust for the money to get the women. So you got to just conquer your lust. And for the women, you got to conquer your emotional chaos. So I love you all, and I thank you all. And remember that it's not about the person's characteristics, it's about the person's character. So it's character over characteristics. And one more thing, I need you all to stop giving people benefit of the doubt. There has never, ever in the history of the world been benefit in doubt. The only way you're going to benefit in life is if you have faith and you please God. If you are sure of yourself. This is how you succeed in life, not by giving benefit of doubt. So ladies, don't give a man benefit of the doubt. And fellas, don't give a woman benefit of the doubt. These people are who they are, and it's up to them to do the work before they meet you. He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and he obtains favor from the Lord. That favor that he obtains is because he chose to do what? Honor a wife. He chose to honor that woman. And the woman did first, what she did first was she honored God. So really the man honors God by honoring the woman. That's why these women out here that y'all mess with in the streets should be looked at as your sisters or potential wives. Either way, you're not going to dishonor them. So when a man honors the wife, when he meets the woman and honors her, he actually honors God. And when he obtains favor, that favor returns back to the woman, because his favor blesses the family and the household. So all this stuff is connected. And I love you all and thank you all. You said in other platforms like, I'll look them up, Rockfin and Odyssey. I will look them up. Thank you so much. Yes, sisters, because some women that you don't want to be with, not attracted to them, they should be your sisters. Right? Okay. So I love you all and I thank you all, and y'all have a great night. Thank you. YouTube, I love you all as well. Thank y'all for coming on, and I will see you all probably tomorrow. Thank you.